Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 16, 2023, and the Barcelona president Joan Laporta has been spotted in Qatar, which has created a whole swirl of rumors, with some even claiming that he's there to sell the club to Gulf states. And I'm here to tell you what exactly Joan Laporta was doing in the Gulf state. Also, it's reported that Manchester City have made Ilkay Gundogan an improved offer because Pep Guardiola really wants to keep the player in a Premier League club. And finally, it's reported that Barcelona are considering the Argentinian Lo Celso. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. It only takes a second, and in doing this, you'll be helping this small and humble channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. The link is down below in the description. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Barcelona have officially unveiled the 2023-2024 Barcelona Home Kit, which pays homage to that first Barcelona women's team that was established in 1970 and played their first official match at the Spotify Camp Nou. And Barcelona paid an homage to those group of women, those pioneering women, by including the diamond inside the Barcelona crest, which pays homage to the symbol that represented those women, because when the Barcelona Feminine was first established, it was not part of the Barcelona Football Club, but instead it was a peña, or a supporter group made up of women, and then eventually it became incorporated as one of the teams of the club. Now, the reason I bring this news up again, even though I did report about it yesterday, is because during these first few days or first few hours of this jersey going on sale, it's reported that Gabi's jersey with the number 6 is the highest selling jersey, which just goes to show how much support and how much fandom Gabi is created amongst the younger generations. And this is great news for Barcelona, as younger generations are becoming less and less interested with sports. But it seems that Barcelona don't have that problem, especially by having very young players amongst their squad, such as Gabi and Pedri. Now, speaking of the club, the Barcelona president, Joan Laporta, was spotted in Qatar, and this has created a whole swirl of rumors in the media, especially in the Madrid media, with some of these media outlets claiming that Joan Laporta is in Qatar in order to sell the club. Well, I'm here to tell you that Barcelona are not it's not up for sale, and Joan Laporta is not in Qatar to sell the club to the Gulf state. He was there in order to try to sign a new sponsor for the club, because as I reported in a previous video, Barcelona are really working on bringing in more sponsors to the club because Barcelona need an injection of cash. Now, I did talk about this sponsor in a previous video. It's the online shopping platform Baladi Express, which is headquartered in Qatar. And directors from Baladi Express had traveled to Barcelona to meet with the Barcelona board of directors to discuss this possible partnership. And while this time around, it was Joan Laporta and Barcelona's turn to travel to Qatar, where the Barcelona president met with the directors of Baladi Express to see whether, to see whether Barcelona can sign a new sponsorship deal with this Qatari online shopping platform. Now, it's reported that Joan Laporta was also there in Qatar in order to extend his relationship with the company even more to its parent company, which is called Baladi Holdings. And if Barcelona are able to create a partnership with Baladi Holdings as well, that would mean even more cash for the club, which would of course be great news for Barcelona, because Barcelona really need to increase their earnings, not just so they can sign more players, but also to make up for that 100 million euros that Barcelona will lose this upcoming season, as they will be moving from the Spotify Camp Nou to the Olympic Stadium at the top of Montjuic, as the Spotify Camp Nou will be undergoing major renovations. Now, while we're still on the topic of the club itself, today La Liga's president Javier Tebas, in some kind of Christmas miracle, even though it's not Christmas, actually had good things to say about Barcelona, where he stated that Barcelona were doing a good job in regards to the financial fair play rule restriction and reducing their wage bill. Now, Javier Tebas said the viability plan was approved. That does not mean that they are in the normal one-to-one situation. They are still in the rule of 40%. As it was approved to control 2 seasons, it means that Barcelona has to make efforts, and they are making them to reduce their wage bill. Today, I read that they have informed Mirotic of his termination, and that is a very important effort. Barca's entire wage bill is taken into account, including the basketball section. They are making an important effort, and we will see if they continue along these lines. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mirotic is a basketball player for Barcelona. He's, I think, one of the highest earners in the entire European basketball league. And Barcelona have decided to terminate his contract in order to reduce their wage bill. And as I reported in the previous video, Barcelona are doing a really good job in reducing their wage bill, as their wage bill was 650 million euros at the beginning of the season. And so far, they have been able to reduce it to 530 million euros, which is 120 million euros less than a few months ago. Now, amongst those 530 million euros wage bill, there's 50 million euros that belong to some of the players who are currently on loan. So if Barcelona offload those players, they'd be able to reduce the wage bill by a further 50 million euros. And of course, the 530 million euros is not all the salaries of the first squad. It also includes 90 million euros from all the other teams in Barcelona. And that is why the termination of the contract of Mirotic is very important, because it will reduce Barcelona's overall wage bill, which will help with the financial fair play rule restrictions. Now, Javier Tebas also spoke about Lionel Messi not joining Barcelona and deciding to join Inter Miami instead. And he said, "As a fan and as president of La Liga, I would have liked to have Messi in our league. Things are what they are, and circumstances come as they come. I'm sure Barcelona will bring a great player, apart from the ones they have. They brought Lewandowski, who we have already seen the level he has given. I wish he had come, but what can we do?" Now, speaking of players coming to the club, it's reported that Manchester City have made Ilkay Gundogan an improved offer in a last-ditch effort to try to keep the German midfielder in the Premier League club. Now, as I reported before, Manchester City really want to renew the contract of Ilkay Gundogan, which expires on June 30th, because Pep Guardiola has instructed the Premier League club to do everything in their power to keep Gundogan, because he is a fundamental player for Pep Guardiola, and he does not want to lose him during this summer transfer market. Now, it was reported that Ilkay Gundogan was not too happy with the Manchester City offer, as they had only offered him a one-season extension, and he was looking for a longer contract. But now it's being reported in the English media that Manchester City have made Ilkay Gundogan an improved offer to try to keep him in the Premier League club. Now, we don't know the exact details of this improved offer. All we know that they have made him an improved offer, and this has caused the player to call Barcelona and ask for more time in order to make up his mind. So we're going to have to wait and see whether Gundogan will end up coming to Barcelona or stay at Manchester City. Because as I reported in yesterday's video, those are the only two options that Ilkay Gundogan is considering. So he's not considering the other clubs who are interested in him, like Arsenal, PSG, or the Saudi club, Al Ittihad. Now, on the Barcelona side, they are completely confident that Ilkay Gundogan will end up coming in Barcelona, because at the end of the day, Barcelona are confirming that they have done everything in their power to try to land Ilkay Gundogan, with Xabi making a personal call to try to convince the player to come to Barcelona, and with Barcelona even making the player an improved offer than their initial offer, and they have even sent the player, per his own request, guarantees on paper that Barcelona not only will be able to sign him, but that they're also going to be able to register his contract if he does arrive in Barcelona. Now, despite Barcelona being confident that Gundogan will end up at the club, they're still considering other names in case Gundogan decides to renew his contract with Manchester City. And as I reported in a previous video, Barcelona were considering Alex Baena, who's the interior for Villarreal. And now Barcelona are considering another Villarreal player, someone who was on loan there from Tottenham Hotspurs. And that player is Giovanni Lo Celso. Now, Lo Celso is the 27-year-old Argentinian midfielder who has a contract with the Premier League club until 2025, has spent the last season at Villarreal on loan, and he's just recovered from his injury that made him miss out on the World Cup and miss out on winning that long-coveted trophy alongside Lionel Messi. But nonetheless, Barcelona are considering him as an alternative to Ilkay Gundogan, because he's an interior that Xabi really likes, because he has really good dribbling skills. He's really good with that final touch. He can score goals, and he can also make successful runs to the box. Now, this, of course, doesn't mean that Barcelona will for sure sign Giovanni Lo Celso. This is just to let you know that Barcelona are considering other options out there in case Ilkay Gundogan decides to end up renewing his contract with the Premier League club. Now, speaking of the Premier League, as I reported in yesterday's video, Tottenham Hotspur made an official announcement saying that Clermontling, will be coming back to Barcelona after his loan spell with the Spurs. And while today we now know more about why Tottenham made that announcement and what exactly happened, because it was initially thought that Tottenham Hotspurs were gonna sign Lenglet on a permanent transfer. Well, it seems that Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur had been negotiated a price for Lenglet around 15 million euros. And then the Premier League club decided to take advantage of the situation that Barcelona have financial fair play rule problems, and they decided to try to negotiate a lower price, much lower than what was initially negotiated. And it seems that it was as low as 5 million euros, which of course Barcelona said absolutely not, because they're not willing to just give away players just because they need to reduce their wage bill. Now, it's reported that Tottenham Hotspurs made that official statement that Lenglet was gonna be coming back to Barcelona because they want to put pressure on the club to reduce their asking price. But it seems that Barcelona so far are maintaining their position that they're not going to be selling Lenglet for 5 million euros. So we're going to have to see how much money Barcelona end up offloading the French defender, because it's reported that Tottenham Hotspur are still interested in him and they still want to sign Clermontling. Now, the good thing with Barcelona is that there is plenty of interest in Clermontling from other clubs, so Barcelona are not going to have to bend over and give away the player to Tottenham Hotspurs. If the Premier League club does not want him, Barcelona are confident that they will be able to offload him to other clubs. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Rafinha has made some pretty interesting statements, where he has confirmed that he has no intention of leaving Barcelona, when he said, "My first 6 months were difficult. It was a start to the season in which I scored few goals, a few assists, and did not have a direct role in the team. But then I began to adapt better. My teammates helped me a lot. I will continue at Barca next season, and the next one, and the next one. I have many years of contract, and I hope to fulfill those years and many more. Barcelona is a city that I love. Brazilians are very happy here." Now, I really did like the statements that Rafinha made. I think this is the kind of mindset that all Barcelona players should have, where they are fully committed to the club, committed to the city, and want to spend as much time as possible at the club. But of course, I've always had my reservation about Rafinha on the field, but hopefully he'll prove me wrong and he'll improve next season, because so far I do like his mindset and his commitment to the club. And hopefully we can also see that accompanied with a better performance on the field. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.